Is not picking up. Omar, on test. Now it is. Never mind. I just reset.
Okay, boomer.
No, I went into the properties and I switched to Black Magic and then you'll switch back. Can you hear me okay, Red Rebel? Well, let me know. It's showing activity on the mic, so sounds all good. Okay, cool. I have salami on the desk. This is my lunch right now. Just a pack of salami and a Mountain Dew. You want to hop in, Omar? Or? He's been working on market maker stuff all week. Yeah, tell him what you found. It's gonna crush your soul a little bit. Welcome, guys. It's been for those of you who have read in Telegram. Things are going great, better than great. The snake is here. I'm juggling customer service on things. Here, I'll show you this. He's trying to buy through the GAN right now.
Here. The bank's declining it. It's not us.
So it's not on our end?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what says payment methods, right by region, yada yada.
Bank declined it.
Okay. I'm double checking.
Bank could probably be flagging it because it's a stateside transaction.
Okay. So yeah, sometimes if you message through the website, it basically messages everyone on the team, and it's whichever team member jumps into the app to do customer service. A lot of the time it's me, just because I'm better than everybody else. But no, I'm just kidding. Everybody works hard, and if it's just a crapshoot who's actually going to help you out with customer service. I think I fielded quite a few of them, just because I'm pretty attentive to when I have pop-ups. I want to talk about, though, what's going on with us, what we're doing, what we're not doing, if we're refocusing, the whole nine yards. Everything's been very eventful on this side. And we go through periods of hyper development and then growth, hyper develop, hyper growth. And so we're transitioning now back into hyper development. I consider it crypto's two fronts. For some people, it's one front. It's just what you talk about. It's not what you actually do. For us, it's two front. It's what you do and then what you communicate. Communication is with you guys, live streams, Telegram. It's with news, radio, promos, writing articles, anything like that is all important to make a splash. You have to build hype for yourself, or the hope is that any hype is based on reality, and it's not just the center of it isn't hype. So that's our goal. We're always developing. Don't get me wrong. When I say we're entering a period of development, it's like we're always building stuff. But those that wear the hats in communication, they kind of go back and forth. And so communication over the next month is going to go down. Something always has to take a toll. So you might see, how is that going to look? That's going to look like less on our front. It's going to go down, less time that I'll have, that Tanya has, anyone else has on Twitter. We spent a lot of time, for those of you in the know, when it comes to getting on an exchange, our first experience getting on an exchange. huge learning curve, a lot of communication, a lot of vetting. Everything we do has to be vetted so thoroughly. Everyone we communicate with, we double check, triple check. What's up, Dutch? Um, so a lot of time spent over the last month getting on CoinMarketCap, P2B exchange. We're now on CoinGecko. And all that time spent doing those things and getting those things is not wasted. It's great for us. We're on a good path, a good trajectory. Things are solid. So what you're going to see is the team here start to transition some of the, you got the pieces that develop full time and the pieces that talk full time, and then you got members that are kind of in the middle that flow back and forth between those depending on what's needed. So the floaters, they're going to go into dev. They're all going into dev. We're going to do a big push over the next. We have a phase one of the ecosystem. 30 days is what we're starting the clock to have phase one of the ecosystem, which is peer-to-peer transactions from two non-custodial decentralized wallets, without having and with no gas needed. That is going to be our goal, is within 30 days to have that out, at least on Android. And the reason I don't include iPhone on that is because iPhone can take like weeks just to publish to the App Store alone, aside from development time, so it's not really realistic. Tanya,
Sorry.
she left her. I didn't mention it. I didn't say what it is. I was gonna rat you out. So that's 30 days, and then the goal would be after the next 30 to 60 days after that is the full merchant network. The reality is a lot of that development is already done. A lot of it is like, okay, we got to kind of this afternoon we're gonna go back. We're gonna streamline it. We're gonna make sure that we're on track, because they've been working on functionality on the back end for that stuff is actually way further along than the GUI is. The GUI, we have a lot done on the user interface as well, but when looking at it with fresh eyes, it's what's the word to describe it? Less optimal than, it just doesn't look clean. So we're gonna clean up the user interface on our apps before we even go to publish, and then we're gonna have to test on a bunch of devices, the whole 9 yards. So anyway, 30 days for user app is what we're looking at right now. We'll probably start Android because pushing out to the Google Play Store is like damn near instant, and then the App Store for Apple is there's just a delay. So expect those that are floating in the middle in our team, like myself, Tanya floats in the middle, to talk to you guys less. I'll still set aside some time. If I'm sitting there in Telegram answering a bunch of questions or trying to fill you guys in on what's going on, it just delays the delivery of what's going on. So it's kind of finding that balance. And with that said, I'm going to still set aside some time. We're not going to zero at all. I don't want you guys to get like, hey, nothing's going on over there, or man, it sure is quiet over at Anubit. It is not quiet. It's crazy. I need to shave my head again. I don't even have time to do that. It's like I look like I'm homeless sometimes. But yeah, things are crazy, and we've got meetings nonstop. If you guys are wondering, because we've kind of gone a little more mainstream, we've got people reaching out to us from every direction of the crypto space. Some of them are BS and it's just people pretending, but there's legitimate ones we vet. We're like, okay, this is really big names that you guys know, small names that you've never heard of, TVs reaching out, things like that. So we're kind of picking and choosing. It's a lot of work just to cipher through that stuff and figure out what is worth our time at this moment in time. because it's like the user app, right? Picture Cash App or Venmo, where you send, but instead of sending money, you send. It's got all the convenience, friends list, easy ways to do it. You send Anubits back and forth, to someone. That whole functionality is coming out, but we're not doing news for that. That's going to be a smaller splash, but that step leads to the merchant system. So we're building off of that base to go to the next phase. And so the merchant, we're doing full press. So we're going to do, huge public announcement. All the news will be out at our first location. We're going to go city to city with onboarding locations. We're going all the way to start and just using that to leapfrog. The goal, of course, being if we get enough cities and enough news cycles, then it increases the odds that we go national news, which is for the U.S. pretty big. And so that's one of our game plans. The other thing is you're going to see if Angelina sets everything up right. They've been reaching out for us for articles on some of our cool features, anti pump and dumps, reflection, the true like a pure decentralized or DeFi token. They're going to be articles published on everything from CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, Yahoo Finance. We're kind of being choosy which ones we want to go with, but they're all available to us on tap. All of them, in case you wonder, anytime some of those things, there's some organic stuff that hits a news cycle. A lot of that stuff, especially the positive stuff, is all paid. Bigger projects, they make the news cycle just because they're the big dogs. But if you're not a big dog, you're paying to get in the news cycle, is basically the way it works. So there's a budget allocated for all that kind of stuff. I give you guys all the behind the scenes of what it takes to actually thrive in the crypto space. So hopefully we have a little credibility at this point. But a lot of people are looking at the price. If you're looking at the chart, let me see if I can bring up the chart. Is it on? No, let me see if I can. Hey, is there? Cam? No. Let me update browser view. Hey, so on browser view, it doesn't even have, what do I display capture? 1 second. Hey, Omar, I'm trying to share a web browser and it doesn't even have it up. Yeah, no, it's got display capture twice, but it has. So if I go to main view, sorry guys, a little technical thing here. When I go to browser view, there's no browser. I mean, maybe it's supposed to come down here. No.
That's right. It should show it there. We had the same issue last time.
Omar's gonna get me dialed in here. Is that display just not showing up?
Yeah, I think so.
Why is it here then? It's just not showing up in OBS. It's weird.
Let's just remove that. There's 2 display captures.
I don't know.
Let's remove both.
All right. Yeah, but the problem is what display? Yeah, click display. Okay. Hey.
Now you gotta move this down.
All right. Cool. Omar is the boss, the jefe. All right. So, um, all right. 1 second here, guys. Let's go to main view. Let me get this dialed in. Draw it on the napkin. I love it. All right. B&B is going trending down a little bit. Bear with me here. God, this breaks my neck looking up. We've got, in case you don't know, our studio has a smaller screen and a big screen. Right behind the camera is a big screen, which is really cool. I have your chat over here. I've got me over there so I can make sure I don't look completely cross-eyed and stupid. I tend to look at myself. I don't know if people do that. Maybe I'm a narcissist. I don't know. But the little screen up there has that's the one for when I switch to the alternate view through screen share. And I'm sitting here with a crook in my neck looking up at it. All right, it doesn't even matter actually. All right, yeah. All right, I'm not even gonna bother with it. So all that time, and yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. So anyway, I do want to keep you guys completely in the loop of what's basically going on with us, what meetings were happening, or that are happening on our side when we're talking to all these people. We do have to basically we have to really dig deep into profiles. We go to LinkedIn pages. We do everything with them in terms of we have to look at all their email addresses, and sometimes they spoof that. We have to send them test emails. They're reaching out from everything from New York locations to all over the world, and we've been really bogged down with figuring out a better way to do that. The thing that surprised us the most was a lot of the people that are communicating with us are communicating over Telegram. Legitimate companies do business over Telegram, which, since we're new to crypto, that's kind of a surprise. It's like we thought there would be more people doing email, and no, it's a lot of Telegram really. So we're constantly trying to dig deeper into whether people are fronting like they're somebody else, which is the case way too often. What I want to look for the next 30 days from the team here is that we spend a little bit less time on that and a little bit more time building. So when it comes to what you can expect, that there's still going to be sales, you're still going to see the price go up. I'll bring up our chart real quick. I don't need to draw it on a napkin. You're going to see, one moment. I'm going to go to all. So here's what you can expect from us is right here is Lola 1.0. Lola does a good job. She's maintaining steady growth. She caps and releases and lets things go up. And the trend line looks really, really good. This is not going to be the focus of what we spend our time doing. We are going to be building. But now that we have Lola 2.0, Lola 2.0 was actually initiated like right here. She allowed it to go up a little more and she pegged it. And you can look to see how even she pegs. It is really clean. She then said, Lola said, okay, there's been enough activity, if you look at the volume during this period, to justify another growth bump. And then boom, another growth bump hits. And you can see the volume dipped right here for a little bit. Now it's back up. She calculates the volume during the plateau. And so this is the way our charts are going to look. So a picture like stairs, almost like steps up. So she calculates the volume and the positive price pressure. Because when you look into kind of like a snapshot, you're like, oh, it's not all positive. It's not just an even solid line. When you zoom in, you're like, oh, there are buys and sells, buys and sells. Gosh. There's dips and there's raises. But when you look at it from kind of a zoomed out view, it's very consistent, right? So if you're what's that? Jog on. So when you're analyzing, the only question you need to be asking yourself when you're advising people or people are jumping in, Telegram, all that is, when's the next step up? As you can see, the total duration and time for it to go to the next bump and then flatline, it does it not instantly, but it does it really quickly. It's not like a gradual trend line up. It's a swift bump, next plateau. So swift bump, next plateau. I'm not telling you when it's happening. I can't say. People are like, oh, when's the price going up? I'm not allowed to say. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. But I can tell you that's going to be how it works. So when someone's coming into our coin and they see it flatlined and they're like, should I come in here or should I wait? If it's flatlined, get in, right? Because that puts you, I can't say when the next bump up is. I can only say that if you get in before the next bump up, that's probably the wisest thing to do. That's how Lola 2.0 is going to function until we push like an upgrade to her. And honestly, I love this. It gives us a nice, clean, controllable. It shows that our goal with this was steady growth. And so with Lola 2.0, we can grow our coin. It can be consistent. And then it grows at, so what does she analyze? She looks at a lot of different factors. Some of the big ones that are just based on the token itself, she doesn't have to look very far outside. Within just the token itself, she analyzes the current volume. She analyzes the amount of buys versus sells. How much, in that regards, how much positive price pressure has accumulated. And you picture it like a mug full of like a liquid, and it's gurgling and filling up. The second it overflows, she bumps it all the way up to the next price point. So it's not just like this gradual trend up or a gradual trend down. We keep it, even if it's losing money or gaining money, we keep it pretty much flatlined to the best of our ability, and then she's going to bump it up. I don't foresee us having a lot of negative price pressure from here on out. We got way too much visibility, and our token is way underpriced for where we're headed. We are underpriced for the market. We're underpriced for what our value is as far as features in the token. That unlike all the meme coins and hype coins, we actually have purpose coming out in real utility. We are underpriced in the market for our market position. In crypto, we are leaps and bounds ahead of everybody in terms of, now Biden's made this call in the US for more regulation. We are going to be ahead of that. Everyone else is going to be scrambling. We're ahead of it. So our position, we're only on one exchange so far, and we're doing really, really good. So I do want I do want to describe this so that when you're seeing our price chart, you have an understanding of what's going on. I will not and cannot tell you guys when the next bump is. I can only tell you if you, friends, family, loved ones, coworkers, some guy you met on the street and you're introducing to Anubit, if you're describing, hey, let me pull up the chart, see this flat line? This is your buy-in period, because the next thing to come is the bump up. Lola will determine how much it bumps by, when it bumps. So I don't have. We're trying not to override anything. We're letting the AI work it. She's going to determine when it bumps, how much it bumps by, whether it's going up by 20 cents or $2. She's going to determine that, and it depends on the price pressure during the duration and the volume. So I think, in my view, I think if it wasn't for this little volume lull here, she probably would have bumped already. But that's just me. I'm not saying I do have some tools for visibility, but that's just off the cuff. So I hope that kind of gives you a little indication. And when you look at some of let's go into some of the other coins. Let's go to Sheeb. Where's Shiba Inu? Here's Shiba Inu. Come on, Sheeb. Yeah. Here's in a day. Here's Sheeb. It's looking pretty good. Of course, when you go to all, it's a little, compared to the high, it doesn't look so hot. But that was like a bull market right there, right? And they say that we might be, in case you guys are wondering, they're saying that crypto's winter is beginning to thaw. And you can kind of see that Bitcoin's above 23,000. Ethereum's holding pretty strong. BNB has been going up and down in this range. I think the high has been like 320. Let me go to I know a couple weeks ago it went up to like, or maybe it was a month ago. Yeah, 322. And if we go further, it went up to 390. 459 within the year. But with 1 month, there's your high. So this may go up or down. It looks like it's going pretty solid. So if the crypto winter is starting to thaw, I don't think it's going to hit bull until we get regulation. I think you're going to get, if things are looking favorable, you're going to get ups and downs. But once we get regulation, I'm telling you guys, in the U.S., just regulation in the U.S. is going to signal to the entire world it's go time on crypto. The field's going to be mapped out. The umpires are all going to be in place, or refs. It is, all the players are all ready to go. It is going to be huge. It's going to be the biggest bull market in the history of crypto. It's going to be exciting freaking times. So we're getting closer. Things are looking like 2023 is going better than I think most people expected for crypto. And that says a lot, considering there was just bombshells at the end of last year with FTX, and it's already kind of recovering. Is pretty disgusting. We're over a $1 trillion market cap again. It was down to like 800. I don't know if it got down to the 700s, but it was way off. And it's already up over a trillion again. Things are looking pretty good on the crypto front. I saw a video. I want to go back while I have you guys here. There's a video on, I don't know if you guys ever watch CoffeeZilla. I'll plug him. If you guys don't watch CoffeeZilla, I suggest checking some stuff he does out. He loves revealing crypto scams. Hope you guys are in the loop. For those that are new to crypto and you're like, do I really want to spend time watching? It honestly, he does a pretty damn good job. I really like the way he does the CoffeeZilla guy. Retarded name, whatever. CoffeeZilla breaks down crypto scams. and there's one from like 8 or 10 months ago before FTX went pop, and it describes something that first off, it was geared towards yield farming, but the video didn't really go into yield farming as much as it went into what crypto or most coins are. And for me, it was kind of an eye opener. I'm like, despite, Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX, he was super candid in this video in a way that you're like, in hindsight, you look at it like, right? You're like, there it all is. And he broke it down. I'll paraphrase some things, but in the noisy market of crypto that we're in, where from the outside looking in at our project, we're just to them we're another meme coin. We're just another token on the Binance Smart chain. So that's how we appear, because that's who our peers are. They don't do anything. We go through their white papers. They promise, oh, we're going to do this and this and this, and then 99.9999% of the time they don't deliver on any of that. But they hype it as if they're going to change the world and set it on fire. And so, from anyone that's looking at our coin on coin market cap, that's how we look. We look like just another meme coin, just another. So he basically says, yeah, you make a box. The box doesn't do anything. You put money inside the box. Other people see the box going up in value. What's up, Matt? Box going up in value, and then so as it goes up in value, people are like, hey, that's a nice box. That box must be amazing. The reality is the box doesn't do anything, and that's most cryptos. That's a perfect comparison to the crypto market as it stands today. Is the overwhelming majority of crypto tokens that are out there are nothing but a box that people have put their money in and propped it up. Shiba Inu one, Dogecoin, all of those. They're jokes. They're invented to be jokes. They're invented to be a box where people are like, you can put money in there and people take money out. And it's just like, other than that core functionality, they don't really do anything. When you're assigning value to something, because he was talking about market cap, coinmarketcap.com, how much the project is worth, or the market capitalization at any given moment. Like when our coin price was low, like 5 seconds ago, the value of our market capitalization was really low. Now now it's up to $5. Our market capitalization is 2.5 times. It's worth 2.5 times as much. The reality is, it's kind of a shitty metric of how you value crypto projects, because it only tells you where they're at right now. It doesn't really show you their potential or where they're headed. Most of these projects out there that have, whether they have big or small market caps, if they don't have any real utility beyond existing as a box that you put stuff in, take stuff out, I just don't see any value to them. I don't think they need to exist, because there can be boxes, any boxes. All of crypto is a box. It's what else they do that should define their value, other than existing to be a box that you put money in and out of, or not even just money, if you put value in and out of them. So, because I think of all of these coins as a form of money. So anyway, this SBF, look it up. It's like, I think it's SBF accidentally describes a Ponzi scheme or something like that for CoffeeZilla, and mentioned yield farming. He didn't really go into yield farming, but I'll do a whole thing on yield farming. Majority of yield farming is straight Ponzi scheme. Let's do it now. We got some viewers. Here we go. So here's a Ponzi scheme. Ponzi scheme, very simple. A lot of people are like, you hear the word thrown around, but what really is it? Ponzi scheme is very simple. You have a bunch of investors throw some money into something, or they can take it out, but they throw some money for the promise of returns, for what they call yields. For banks, you have your APY, your annual percentage rate, whatever. It's a promised return regardless of any other factors. So it doesn't matter whether something does good or bad. That's your yield. You put your money in, you're getting that much out. So some of these yield farms that every so often, every week, 2 week, month, whatever the cycle is, every year, doesn't matter. You put your money in, you lock it up, you get your return. Simple. So people throw their money in, and lo and behold, they get more coin in return, which they can then sell or do whatever with. So as they get more, they're like spreading the word, like, hey, this is great, this is awesome, I'm getting returns, you should come in too. Other people throw their money in, and then now they're in the pool that get returns. And this cycle, the problem with promising a return that's not tied to any type of performance is the money that you're paying the returns has to come from somewhere. And the question is, where does it come from? There's the crux of where it's a Ponzi scheme. A Ponzi scheme is set up so that the new people coming in, that new capital is what's paying the returns to the existing people. And as long as there's a new influx of people buying into a project because it's surging, as long as that continues, it's not revealed to be a Ponzi, because the source of the yields is obfuscated from you can't really see it. It just, everything is just working. Yeah, they're just killing it. They're doing good. They can pay crazy returns. So it chimes into a couple of key things. First off is, if something's too good to be true, it is, right? That's universal truth. That they're promising 43% returns, that doesn't mean you won't get some. But it does mean that if they're doing that, they're probably doing it in a Ponzi type scheme that will eventually collapse. So those that get into it and get out at the right time, yeah, they can have major upside gains. I'm not saying there's not potential for gains, but at its core, it's not a fundamental long-term model, and its destination is predetermined. They always collapse. They're designed to run for a certain duration. And depending on how self-sustained they are in their growth and bringing in new people, once that breaks and there's no new influx of people coming in to it, the yields can't be paid, and the party's over. The house of cards collapses. Everyone blitzkriegs out of there, and it collapses in on itself. And the people that got out at the right time are doing great. They're killing it. They're loving it. So the most yield farming, I believe to be completely a Ponzi scheme. That it's new people coming in that pay for the party of growth. But if you look at crypto as a whole, a lot of it operates very similar to that, where especially if the box has no utility. If new people coming in causes the price to go up on something and then people are getting paid out, the reality is most things in life operate a little bit like that. They have symptoms of that. They're not straight up Ponzi, but they're Ponzi light, right? And it's something that we need to draw hard lines of what we consider, and this is where regulation comes in, what's considered fraud, because ultimately something is worth there's a lot of things in economics. I don't know if you guys take econ or took it in high school or college, things like that, or studied it just on YouTube. But there's supply and demand. There's all these economic principles that are sound. But one that is SBF did a poor job articulating in crypto is the basic principle that something is worth what someone else is willing to pay for it. And that appears to be the one of the most the single most important thing in crypto is that concept. Something is worth what somebody else is willing to pay for it. And as long as there's someone willing to pay, then that pegs the value. And whether it ignores every other economic principle or theory that exists, which crypto often ignores, that tends to be the guiding light. And that's why hype is so important in crypto. So yeah, check out that video. I thought SBF, it's like 8 minutes. CoffeeZilla breaks it down. And Anubit official. I assume that's probably Ton in the background. Um, so whether honestly, it is a killer thing. You watch it multiple times, you're like, okay, it'll kind of open your eyes up to things. So the big takeaway for me is like, guys, we got to get our utility going, because I don't want a Nubit to just be a box that has value because other people have put in. I want it to have, as soon as possible. We know we're on a path to real utility. We are going to be doubling down to accelerate that as much as possible. I don't want to be another crypto box that just exists and just, I know that's not our plan, but I'm tired of even looking like those guys. I I don't want us to be perceived as this just like, oh, just another meme coin. So the way we separate ourselves as quickly as possible is we show real utility, real progress on the DeFi space, a true sense of purpose other than existing for the sake of existing, that we solve problems. And you're going to see us double down on that effort. I apologize ahead of time for any lack of communication. I'll do my best to jump in. Telegram, the team will do our best. I will be out. I will be out for a week in February. Just giving you guys a heads up. Have we mentioned the first app in timeline? Yeah, first app's going to be what we've dubbed the user app. We're still we have 0 Point Solutions that we work with. And so that app will be under 0 Point Solutions. It will not be directly under Anubit. Anubit cannot be the company or coin that pushes its own utility. In order to comply, it has to be done by third parties, and it will be done by third parties. So ZPS. However, I will put this challenge to you guys that have been with us, is the app itself is not named yet. If you have some amazing name suggestions, send them on Telegram. We'll look them over. It could be, like Cool Pay brought to you by ZPS. It could be anything. If you have some cool name suggestions for an app, send it our way in Telegram. If we end up going with, don't send it if you want like to get compensated. Do Chat GPT can name it, probably could, but we'll definitely kick a reward if we end up choosing a name suggestion that you guys send in Telegram for our upcoming ecosystem app. I'll kick, like, let's say, what's a good amount? 20 Anubits. If you do a name suggestion that we end up going with. And I would say no more than 2 names per person. So if you're like just gonna start slamming out names left and right, no. 2 names per person. Feel free to send us to us in Telegram. If we go with that one for our app, we'll send over 20 Anubits as a thank you. And if that doesn't work, then don't send the name. But yeah, we've spitballed a couple, but it's nothing just kind of like harmonized. We're maybe too close to it because we're designing it, and so we tend to go really on the. Tony makes fun of me because when I name things, I want to if it scans the face, I want to call it face scan, and so if it charges phones fastly, I want to call it quick charge. But maybe it's something. Yeah, so limits ZPS withdrawal separate to Lola system. So the user app's going to have, I'll go over it very quickly. It'll have a whole login system like any other app where you set up your account. It'll have the complete GAN functionality, the ability to connect a DeFi wallet like Trust Wallet or MetaMask to the app. Securely do basically a handshake between those to purchase, just like with the GAN, you'll be able to purchase Nubit straight through it. And you'll be able to, without having to log in your MetaMask or Trust Wallet directly into a wallet, you'll be able to transfer Anubits to and from friends or family or anyone in your contacts. It's going to have a full friends list. It'll be able to, if you want to give it to a stranger and they have the app, they can say receive Anubits, and it'll pull up a QR code, send Anubits, opens up the camera, you scan the QR code, type in the amount you want to send and hit submit. You'll send Anubits straight to someone. So that's the first, there's some other functionality too, but that's the first thing that it paves the way to the rest of the merchant app or merchant ecosystem. So the of course next thing is, you know, a buddy calling you, hey, I'm at the bar, I'm a little short of funds, can you send me some Anubit? You'd send him the Anubit right through your friends list, and he's able to pay for his next drink at the bar. That would be where the merchant side comes in, and that's how they can work together. That you can, just like with Cash App, Venmo, what is it, Zelle or whatever, it's going to have all of that functionality. And then the second phase will be the ability to pay vendors directly. So someone's at a swap meet and they can take cash, or they can take Anubits, or a taco truck, or a local bar, or online shopping. We're going to have it so that the merchant thing is going to be a lot more work than this. But this is the base framework for the upcoming, and it'll say, they'll have a whole merchant area on there, and it'll say merchant sections coming soon, so you'll be able to see that that's coming. But for now, it's going to be more mainly user to user based interfacing. So yeah, that's I hope that answers Scon. But yeah, the app that users are using in order to, there's going to be two apps. The first app is the ones that the users send to each other and pay merchants, and then there'll be a merchant app that is just for, it's only for merchants for setting up basically their digital payment system, like a POS almost, and which allows merchants to receive Anubits, manage Anubits, pay out tips and Anubits. We've got, a lot of features developed for that, where, and then cash out if they need to cash out the end of the night to pay taxes and servers, things like that too. So we have a lot done. We just don't have a good name. Timeline. The phase 1 user app, we're going to have, our goal is to have that done by the 1st of March. So our user app will be published by the 1st of March. If there's a delay on the Apple version of it for the App Store, then so be it. But it'll at least be done, tested. Testing's been ongoing for that for a while now. All the back-end functionality is already working. It's just a matter of redoing the user interface. It looks a little clunky right now, so it's going to get reskinned. We're not going back to the drawing board. We're just going to have to really clean it up, because it's not as intuitive as we want, but the functionality is all there. So it's already, the team's awesome. We've been working on this stuff for a while. And the lifeblood flowing through it will be Anubit. Anubit's going to be, at least to start, the only coin that is used. Here's how it affects all the holders of Anubit. As the ecosystem comes on board, every time someone sends coin to their friend, or once, pays for a beer or taco truck or a swap meet, or every time a merchant receives a Anubit from a user. So anytime coin leaves that user's wallet and goes to any other destination, a fee is deducted. It's only 1% fee. You guys are familiar with it. It's the lowest fees in the industry. But on volume, as those little, because the fees are so small, there's not really a huge penalty for sending, but those fees contribute towards reflection. So when that ecosystem comes online, with people able to transfer Anubits between each other and pay merchants with Anubit, and we're lining it up so merchants can pay other merchants for their stuff with Anubit as a complete monetary replacement, that reflection that you get from the holding, since you guys are getting in so early, is going to be off the chart. You guys are going to be hoovering up most of the reflection compared to new people that are coming in when the price is much higher. So getting into other projects early is not as important as getting in. Like, let's say you get into XRP and it's $2 and then it goes up to $3. Yeah, you gain 50%, but you don't get any reflection on their trading volume. You don't have any benefit to the massive amounts. Look, let's break it down. I'm going to show you guys why this is different than anything that you've ever seen before. Is XRP is a transactional currency. It's designed to save banks money. Its price has gone up in the last, let's go to month. In the last month, it's gone from 36 cents up to it's sitting at 41 cents. So it's gained 5 cents in a month. That's cool. You own tons of them. You gain money, but you have to sell it, right? So it's positive, whatever percent in the past month. Let's say it's positive for 15%. So you have 15% more coin, you can sell it all and you make a profit. Yay. But here's the challenge with XRP is, where in the heck? Let me go back here. With XRP, they've done in volume almost $1 billion today. Why is it not showing it? All right, whatever. They've almost done $1 billion. Sometimes XRP is up to $3 and $4 billion in volume. It's actually relatively low right now, even though the price has gone up. So with XRP, you don't care about its market cap, and the reality is you shouldn't even care too much about its price. The problem is you don't share that volume. That volume at $1 billion of transactional currency gives you nothing. You don't get a piece of it. So if it goes up to 4 billion in volume and the price stays the same, you're breaking even. You're there's no win for you. And so other things aren't meant to be transactionally. Like BNB isn't really, it's a gas, it's a core coin. XRP has a specific purpose. It's to save banks money by transmitting massive amounts of volume back and forth across borders, saving banks millions or billions over time. And so, yeah, without reflection, it's kind of just, for me, it's silly. It's useless. So what Anubit is designing to be not one for the banks, but for the everyday person, the everyday merchant, and the everyday person to send and do transactions back and forth. So instead of large transactions with huge amounts of it, it's going to be, millions of little transactions that add up to hopefully billions. And so with all of those transactions every day, they're all collecting a small fee, and that fee is, in part, 15% of it is redistributed back to all the holders proportionally to the amount that they hold. So as the network has lots of activity and Anubit starts really scaling, what you're going to see is people getting rich just off the reflection of the Anubit because they got in early the project. And the beauty of that is they can sell the coin that they get from reflection back into the system. And never, if they want, they don't even have to, because they're earning passive coin, they don't even have to sell their core coin. If they want to just have a good income, they can just sell the reflection. So that's how Anubit's going to be different. Whereas since XRP is a stupid coin that has no fees pretty much, it's next to free, which is why the banks love it. But because they don't charge any fee, there's nothing for them to share. You can't make something out of nothing. You have to take from something, even if you're going to redistribute it. since they don't really take much, they're next to free, which is awesome for banks. Nobody benefits. So could XRP build something for like we're doing? Sure, they could, but they don't have any incentive to. Right now, their incentive is to be a tool used by banks, and they really succeed at doing. They sell banks their XRP. Banks love it. They buy it up, and the XRP army goes freaking nuts over it, and it's just asinine. So anyway, but that's the key difference is this you don't get reflection on. You own any of this stuff, and as it does billions, and that's why people get so fixated on the price, is because unless that price goes up and they sell their excess, they don't make anything. You have to buy low and sell high. That's the only dynamic. And that's why every other token out there is only a win if the price goes up. If the price goes down, you're only a loser. Whereas if the price goes up with Anubit, let me pull this up. Bear with me. As the price goes up with Anubit, that's cool. Your coin's worth more money. You can sell your coin and you're selling it for a profit. So versus here, you're selling it for $1.50 more. Yay, you got a win. But if you look at our coin, when it goes up, you're like, oh, I love these green candles. You should love the red candles too. You know what the red candles mean? More reflection for you. Every time people sell, passive income. So as the ecosystem's going where it's trading hands, because you make when people sell, and you make when people send to other wallets. They don't even have to sell, just send it to another wallet and it charges that fee and redistributes for reflection. But as the volume, this volume is basically an indication of that. As the volume is going off, it's generating reflection for you guys. It's really a neat thing. And we have the only true reflection token. I know this because last I checked, we had the only functional minting reflection token. Why is minting so important in front of that? Is, let me go to main view. Okay, here's why. Here, the way that most tokens work is they mint all of their tokens at once in one lump. So let's go to one that, I don't know what iStable is. Here, let's go to this one. I'm going to show you on the Blockchain Explorer. Oh, I don't know why they don't have circulating supply numbers, but the total and the max supply are equal. So right there we know that they minted everything. They're already at max supply. 1.5 million tokens. So when they, oh yeah. What in the heck? Transfer? Add liquidity? Yeah, here's all of their, switch to desktop view. Oh, sorry. Yep, thank you for, there we go. So you can see here's all of their tokens. That's not really the best one. Let me see if I can find a different one that is, let me go to one that's a little cleaner. That one's a little odd. Mythic Ore. Million tokens, total and max supply equal. They don't even say what their circulating supply is. I'm going to go over here. Let's go to last. Null address, 100,000. Is that 100? I can't even read that. 100 million? Is that their? Oh yeah, 100 million. So they minted all of their tokens, and all of their tokens were dumped into this address. So that's their master wallet. That master wallet 100,000 of those tokens is left. The other ones have all been distributed. But so every token that they're ever going to make is already in existence. It's all the total supply equals the max supply. How is that different with us? Well, oh wait, that's BSC scan. Let me go over here. Why does minting matter? Why did it take us so long to do minting? Well, it didn't really take us long to do minting. It took us long to do minting and reflection. These guys spam the P2B group. So when you go to here, oh look, 1.6 million tokens. But when you look at our max supply versus total supply, that means that 98.4 million tokens have yet to be born. So when you're looking at reflection, why does that matter? Well, reflection's proportional. So if other reflection tokens have minted all of their tokens and they give out, let's say they give out 1 million. Like if these were all minted, which they're not, like reflection goes to whatever this total supply is. It goes to these wallets that hold this total supply. If we held 98.4 million in our total supply, guess what? We're going to hoover up all the reflection and you get the 1.5%. We'll take, thank you, we get the 98.5%. So that's how every other reflection token works. They take almost all the reflection and give you the peanuts. And we're the only ones because nobody else figured out how to do minting combined with reflection. There's other reflection tokens, don't get me wrong. They're all stealing most of the reflection from their user base. We have the only one. So people don't know how significant that is. Well, let's just say that all the other reflection tokens, they're a joke because, yeah, they reflect, but you're getting pennies on the dollar of what you should be. So that's the key difference. Guys, I could go on rabbit holes all day long. Hopefully the team cuts some of this up to do explainer videos. For those of you who've been here since the beginning, you probably already seen a lot of this or know all of this. For those that are new to watching, hopefully this answers a little bit about what's going on. The tools I've used to just break this down really quick are the coin market cap, just looking at the price chart and making sense of some of these things. And then I've used the blockchain explorer, which you can see on the blockchain, all activity. We started off, we only had one. Everything else, since our token mints, can mint on the fly and adjust reflection on the go. It's all very different. The math within our token to solve minting reflection, trust me, we didn't want to have to write the math. We wanted to borrow or fork from somebody else. And what we found is nobody else had the formulas, so we couldn't copy anyone else. We had to write it all original. And so we copied what we could, and we wrote brand new code for what we had to, which is our minting equation is unique to our token. Nobody else has it. Nobody else is going to have it. And I don't think there's any other minting reflection tokens that exist as of yet. It's probably going to take them another year between someone's going to stumble, like they're going to have to know to look for us and try to dig in deep to our beyond our proxy and steal our token code. Not that they can't do it, but there's also a couple hand grenades we put in there. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go. I've got to meet with Tanya now. We're going to go streamline the app. As soon as I have testing going on for the app, I will let you know. What I mean is testing is with the fully published app. Up until then, I'm only going to tell you it's in the works. That's the next thing. Timeline is 30 days, March 1st, 30 days give or take. But March 1st basically is when we plan to go live with it. If we get delayed, I'll communicate and let you guys know. If I'm scarce in Telegram, don't hold it against me. Day's not over yet, but we'll have a great weekend. I will be gone from the 8th to the 15th. Angelina's going to be out at the beginning of, and basically starting next week. Angelina's out, and buckle up. You're in for a fun ride over the next 60 days. Is going to be our big development cycle and our big splash. I think in 60 days, we're going to be making some huge headlines, bigger than CoinMarketCap listing or P2B exchange, national news. So if they care, I don't know. People care about DeFi, but a token that's actually doing it, I think if we say this right and our messaging is succinct of why this matters, and we're going to be positioning hard against FTX. The reason we're doing this is so that people don't have another FTX situation, that they can operate in the DeFi space with safety. That's going to be our messaging. So other than that, have a great weekend. You guys are great, and thanks for putting up with my